Days of Our Lives, the crisis of connection with Salem's romance scene has lost its magic. Welcome back to NBC News, where today we're diving deep into one of the most pressing issues facing Days of Our Lives fans, the alarming shortage of compelling romantic couples on the beloved Peacock drama. As one of television's most enduring soap operas, Days of Our Lives has built its reputation on the passionate relationships that keep viewers emotionally invested. Yet in recent times, the show has found itself in a curious predicament, a romantic landscape that feels increasingly barren, with only a handful of pairings generating genuine enthusiasm from the fanbase. The current state of Salem's romance, a landscape in crisis. The romantic ecosystem in Salem has undergone a significant transformation in recent years. What once felt like a rich tapestry of interconnected love stories now resembles a patchwork of disconnected narratives, leaving longtime viewers frustrated and searching for couples worth rooting for. While the show continues to churn out romantic entanglements week after week, the emotional investment these storylines generate has noticeably diminished. The couples that continue to resonate with audiences remain relatively stable, suggesting that quality matters far more than quantity in the realm of daytime television romance. Steve Johnson and Kayla Brady Johnson, portrayed masterfully by Stephen Nichols and Mary Beth Evans respectively, represent the gold standard, a pairing that transcends decades and continues to deliver the kind of authentic connection that reminds viewers why they fell in love with the show in the first place. Similarly, the established relationships anchoring the show include Javi and Leo, Roman and Kate, Johnny and Chanel, alongside several other unions that maintain a dedicated following. Even Paulina and Abe, despite weathering considerable personal turbulence and relationship obstacles, continue to inspire hope among the fanbase, a testament to the underlying foundation of their connection that persists through conflict. However, this list of functioning couples is distressingly short compared to the sheer number of characters inhabiting Salem. The recent dissolution of the Xander and Sarah partnership only amplifies viewer concerns about the show's ability to maintain compelling romance. This breakup left a notable void in the romantic landscape, particularly among viewers who had invested emotionally in watching their journey unfold. The departure of such a dynamic pairing suggests that even well-established couples are no longer immune to cancellation, creating an atmosphere of uncertainty around which relationships fans should truly invest in. The Fanbase Speaks, Reddit's brutal assessment of Salem's worst couples. The gap between what the show's writers are creating and what the audience actually wants has become increasingly visible in fan communities, particularly on Reddit, where viewers engage in candid discussions about their viewing experience. When one Reddit thread posed the question asking fans to identify the couples they found most frustrating or least compelling, the responses painted a vivid picture of widespread dissatisfaction. Rather than celebrating the current romantic pairings, fans came prepared with detailed critiques and honest assessments of relationships that simply weren't working. The couple of Tate and Holly emerged as a primary target of fan criticism, with multiple viewers independently identifying this pairing as fundamentally boring and lacking the necessary spark to justify their screen time. Holly, portrayed by Ashley Puzemis, and Tate, brought to life by Leo Howard, were described as having no particular chemistry from their inception. What makes this criticism particularly notable is that viewers weren't blind to alternative possibilities. Many pointed out that Holly demonstrated significantly more authentic chemistry with Doug, played by Peyton Meyer, suggesting that the fundamental issue lies not with either actor's abilities, but rather in the fundamental incompatibility of the pairing itself. Despite these reservations, the writing team made a deliberate creative decision to pursue this couple as a legacy storyline, in an attempt to build something meaningful for Brady Johnson and Nicole Walker, portrayed by Eric Martsolf and Ariane Zucker respectively. The logic behind this decision was perhaps sound from a narrative perspective, yet it ultimately fell short in execution. The couple failed to achieve the magical quality that legacy pairings require to justify their placement in the show's rotational storytelling. What fans wanted was genuine romance with foundation. What they received felt like casting decisions in search of a compelling reason to exist. The relationship between Stephanie Forrester and Alex Munson generated similar criticisms, though the frustrations voiced by the fanbase carried a different tone. Multiple viewers described this pairing as feeling forced, a word that appeared repeatedly throughout fan discussions, and pointed out that the couple seemed to exist primarily as a solution to a producer's dilemma rather than as an organic romantic development. One particularly articulate fan observation suggested that the show's writers appeared to be pairing these characters together simply to ensure that both actors remained active and relevant within the show's narrative structure. Alex, played by Robert Scott Wilson, and Stephanie, portrayed by Abigail Klein, are both objectively talented performers capable of delivering compelling television. Yet when placed together, something fundamental goes missing. Fans pointed out that this particular pairing represented the second attempt by writers to create romantic momentum between these characters, suggesting that the first attempt had already failed to ignite audience enthusiasm. The lack of that essential standout factor, that indefinable quality that makes viewers lean forward in their seats, became the central complaint. The chemistry simply doesn't manifest in a way that compensates for whatever may be missing in the narrative setup. Unexpected criticism. When established couples disappoint. Perhaps most surprising to casual observers was the inclusion of several couples who might otherwise be considered success stories by traditional measures. The pairing of Johnny Perrenhai and Chanel Duprez, brought to life by Carson Boatman and Raven Bowens respectively, appeared on multiple fans' lists of disappointing couples. Though the criticisms leveled against them differed from those directed at other pairings. Rather than citing lack of chemistry or fundamental incompatibility, fans expressed exasperation with the pacing of their romantic narrative. Specifically, viewers questioned the writers' apparent rush to push these characters toward matrimony, the sense that the show was moving too quickly toward marriage, without adequately developing the relationship's emotional foundation, left fans feeling frustrated and manipulated rather than invested. This criticism speaks to a larger issue within the medium's delicate balance between momentum and meaning. A couple can have genuine chemistry and authentic connection, yet still alienate the fanbase if the narrative pace feels off or the trajectory seems predetermined rather than earned. Johnny and Chanel represent a case where the potential exists, but execution has fallen short of expectations. The partnership between Roman Brady and Kate Roberts, featuring Josh Taylor and Lauren Koslow in these iconic roles, also made several fans' lists of least favored couples. Roman is one of the show's cornerstone characters, a figure whose romantic journey has spanned decades. Kate Roberts, meanwhile, is one of daytime television's most formidable female characters. Yet when placed together romantically, the result disappointed numerous viewers. The primary complaint centered on the complete absence of chemistry between the two actors, a void that fans felt existed from the beginning rather than developing over time. More concerning to critical viewers was the almost clinical nature of their interactions, marked by rarely displayed affection and awkward physical contact. When these two characters kissed on screen, observing fans noted the lack of authenticity that typically characterizes compelling romantic moments. While some might dismiss the importance of secondary pairings among veteran actors, fans rightfully pointed out that this dismissal misses a crucial point. Nobody wants to watch two characters repeatedly fail to enjoy each other's company. Romance, at its core, should feel like something both the characters and the audience want to witness. The forced romance problem, when writers dictate rather than inspire. A recurring theme throughout fan criticism involved what might be termed forced coupling, the practice of pairing characters together not because their story demands it, but because practical production considerations make it convenient. The relationship between Justin Clements and Bonnie Lockhart, portrayed by Wally Kurth and Judy Evans respectively, exemplifies this problem with particular clarity. According to fan analysis, these characters were deliberately paired following the show's decision to write out Audrian Johnson, the other character played by Judy Evans. This decision created an awkward narrative situation, an exceptional actress suddenly available for storyline opportunities, but her primary character vehicle having been eliminated from the show. Rather than allowing the character of Bonnie to develop independently or explore new relationship possibilities organically, the writing team appeared to make a utilitarian choice: pair her with Justin, who remained active in the narrative framework. The result felt calculated rather than inspired, leaving viewers questioning whether this couple truly served the story or merely provided a convenient solution to a production puzzle. Fans recognized the creative problem the writers faced, yet still found the solution unsatisfying from a viewing perspective. This pattern of forced coupling reveals a fundamental tension within the show's current creative approach. When a writing staff treats romantic relationships as solutions to casting challenges rather than as integral components of the show's emotional narrative, the audience inevitably notices. The result is couples that exist on paper but fail to register emotionally with viewers who understand the difference between a pairing that serves the story and a pairing that serves the schedule. The broader implications, what this means for Days of Our Lives. The romantic dissatisfaction expressed across fan communities should concern the show's creative team, as romantic storylines have traditionally formed the emotional core of soap opera entertainment. Days of Our Lives built its brand on the principle that viewers would return day after day to follow the romantic journeys of characters they had grown to love. When those journeys feel contrived, poorly matched, or narratively convenient rather than organically developing, the fundamental appeal of the medium diminishes. The shortage of compelling couples creates a viewing experience that lacks the emotional hooks necessary to maintain consistent engagement. Longtime fans report feeling adrift without clear romantic anchors to follow, while newer viewers arrive to discover a romance-driven format where the current romantic options fail to inspire enthusiasm. This represents a significant creative challenge that extends beyond simply developing better chemistry and it requires a fundamental reassessment of how the show approaches romantic storytelling. The fanbase has demonstrated with remarkable clarity what they want: authentic connections between characters that feel earned rather than mandated, relationships that develop at a pace that respects both narrative integrity and audience investment, and most fundamentally, pairings that allow actors to showcase genuine chemistry rather than forcing together performers whose interpersonal dynamics simply don't generate the necessary spark. Until the show's creative direction aligns these desires with its casting and storytelling choices, the romance crisis in Salem will likely persist, leaving viewers searching elsewhere for the passionate connections that once defined the show's appeal.